What's up guys? So I wanted to make a video that was just explaining my thoughts on the Chan situation, as well as just African hairstyles and cultural appropriation in the K-pop scene. So before we start the video and get into everything, I want to preface with this. I am a stay. I've stan Stray Kids since debut. I've listened to every Stray Kids and 3RACHA song, and I love all the members. I haven't watched the pre-debut show, mostly because I don't want to cry when Felix and Mina were eliminated and brought back, but yeah, I am a Stray Kids stan. I'm not Korean nor am I Australian, but my father is black and my mother is Japanese, and I live in America. So I am not completely ignorant to the concept of cultural appropriation and how it's different across the world. So, the Chan situation. If you haven't heard about what happened, last Thursday, Stray Kids performed 2 songs in M Countdown. Those 2 songs were Zone, the more hip-hop/rap track formed by 3RACHA, and Miro, the more pop-sounding title track formed by the whole group. For the performance of Zone, Chan had cornrows in his hair, but later when Stray Kids performed Miro, he had them taken out. Now let's get into why this is problematic. Again, I'm not trying to say Chan is a horrible person, but some people, including myself, see this as problematic. When I say problematic, I'm not trying to cancel Chan, but I don't think he is completely innocent in this situation. Cornrows and other forms of African braiding is deeply rooted in black culture and has held a great amount of significance to black people for a long time. When Chan wore the cornrows, he did not wear them because he has a love and respect for black culture. His hair was braided either because him or the stylist wanted him to have a more hip-hop concept and look. Black culture and hip-hop culture are not one and the same, even though black people were the inventors and pioneers of the genre. To say that all elements of black culture are also elements of hip-hop culture is ignorant. Wearing chains and baggy clothing is popular in black culture, but it was popularized by rappers and hip-hop artists. So things like that are not necessarily black culture but can be considered hip-hop culture. Chan having cornrows in this specific instance is wrong, because he wore a deeply special and integral part of black culture as what is essentially a costume. If Chan had worn cornrows because he loved black culture and wanted to celebrate and enjoy it, that would have been a different story. But wearing them to appear more quote-unquote swaggy and gangsta is deeply disrespectful. Okay, now let's get into the arguments for the defense of Chan and the whole cornrow situation. So people are saying that his company or his stylist forced him to have this hairstyle for the show. And even if that's true, Chan is an adult. He's a grown-ass man. He can make his own decisions. And also, Chan is a public figure, so he has to take some responsibility for the things that he does and the things that are associated with him. He's not absolved from any blame or guilt just because he's an idol. Okay, now let's get into the arguments for the defense of Chan and the whole cornrow situation. So people are saying that his company or his stylist forced him to have this hairstyle for the show. And even if that's true, Chan is an adult. He's a grown-ass man. He can make his own decisions. And also, Chan is a public figure, so he has to take some responsibility for the things that he does and the things that are associated with him. He's not absolved from any blame or guilt just because he's an idol. Another defense is that cultural appropriation isn't real or isn't bad, and that's just not true. When people who aren't black appropriate things from black culture, it negatively affects black people because it minimizes how when we show these parts of our culture, we are shunned and punished for it. But when non-black people do it, it's cool and a trend and stuff, but it's not. It's our culture. Another excuse is that, oh, Chan's Korean, he didn't know it was bad. And ignorance isn't an excuse. Just because you don't know something is bad doesn't make it not bad. Also, Chan was raised and lived a lot of his life in Australia, which is seen as a Western country, even though it's not in the Western Hemisphere or whatever. It's like a Western country. It's very diverse. So there's no way he couldn't have known. And again, ignorance, it's not an excuse. So something else people are saying, I'm not sure if this is like an actual defense or if it's just a joke people are making on Stan Twitter. I don't really go on Twitter, but people are saying that Chan has a cocaine addiction, so you can't hold him responsible for his actions. And I just really hope this is a joke, because if it's not, this is the dumbest shit I ever heard. Black people are endlessly discriminated against for the way we choose to style our hair. And for Chan to wear it as just this lighthearted thing is bad and disrespectful, and he should apologize. So this is like a last minute edit, like the day I'm posting this edition. Chan wore cornrows again, and at a fan sign he said that it was his decision, it was his idea, so you can't really be like, oh, he had no idea what he was doing. Like, it was his choice. So yeah, still love Chan, stan Stray Kids, stream Miro, bye.